Hey everybody, and welcome to FND POD. I'm Vinny. This is Aaron. Cooper's whatever. Who cares? Okay.
He's out.
Doesn't matter. Hey, brother, how are you? How's your week been?
Hey, what's up? It's been good. How about you?
Man, dude, I don't even know where to begin, Aaron.
Really? You had that crazy of a week?
Yeah,
Hit me with it, dude.
dude. First Monday night, I stayed inside.
Ooh.
Yeah, I watched a French film
Ooh, we?
on the Criterion Channel.
What was it called?
Les Samurai.
Les Samurai?
Les Samurai.
Oh, so it was a French samurai film? Or did it have nothing to do with samurais?
No,
Which
he's
would
a
be
hit.
kind of
It's
funny.
about a hitman.
Hitman, okay.
So in the 60s, sort of a modern way, featuring the incredibly handsome Elaine Delon. Elaine Delon. It's a good movie. It's cool. It's just cool. It's a lot of cool. Like, damn, that looks cool. You can, a lot of the movie is just them behind the camera going, "That looks very cool."
Yeah. That French New Wave.
Yeah. Frankly, besides that, I didn't really. That kind of didn't do a whole lot else.
Well, that's kind of boring. I thought you were going to hit me with all this cool stuff, and you just kind of dropped a boredom bomb on me.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Did you see anything else? Noteworthy? Are you watching anything? It's funny how TV shows, have you noticed that they've dominated so much of the what are you watching has become such a big conversational piece.
Let's not even go.
What are you watching?
We're not going to tell what we're watching. Okay?
What are you watching?
There are entire
Last
podcasts.
of Us? Oh my God, have you seen Severance?
I have.
Oh, are you watching White Lotus? Could you imagine what happened on White Lotus last night?
No, what happened? Tell me. Give me your take. Give me your hot takes for next week's episode.
Every time I get in a conversation like that, I realize how little I watch, but I do try to keep up with just a couple because TV is so hot. We're truly in the, well, I don't know if we're in the golden.
Don't say no, because people have been saying that for the last 20 years. Okay, it's not no.
It has been a very good stretch of TV.
Since what? Since The Sopranos, or since when? When do we start?
Yeah, I would say The Wire, Sopranos, like that. Like when I noticed it personally, because I was too young to really start watching those. But Lost, dude, you remember the first episode of Lost?
Are you counting Lost as the
Are you
golden
kidding
age?
me? Are you kidding me? Before that, were you watching stuff that was that cinematic of a dude waking up on a beach and you had a whole freaking 737 or whatever exploded on the beach and people running everywhere? It was what? This is TV?
Yeah. Dude, speaking of, oh man, we're doing it. Have you watched any of the rehearsal yet?
Are you watching? Oh my God, are you watching? No, I haven't.
Okay.
I didn't even finish the first season, though I did really like it. I haven't finished yet. Do you like it?
It's yes, to put it very lightly.
How far are they into it? Are they releasing episodes weekly?
Yeah, it's every. There were 2 episodes into the new season.
Yeah, I should.
It's one of the best things ever, I think.
Really?
Just
well, what are you gauging that off of? Because are you even watching anything else? Have you started Andor?
I'm not watching Star Wars shit. Okay.
Oh.
We don't need any more Star Wars IP. Okay, we had enough of it. I don't care for.
Don't yuck my yum, dude.
I'm not gonna say I don't mean like your yums. I didn't mean to.
It's one of the best written shows on TV right now.
So you just recommend?
I guess not anymore.
Can we not talk about what we're watching anymore?
No, let's talk about the rehearsal.
It just, you mentioned a plane crashing, and it's all
about. I am familiar with that. It's about aviation safety and stuff.
Yeah. So I couldn't help. Listen, dude, right before, 10 minutes, 20 minutes before we were jumping on, I'm like, what are we going to talk about this week? And so I did a cheat sheet move. I went to Google Trending and I saw what was on Google.
Yeah, we've done this before. Okay, let's bring it back.
Okay, dude, GTA 6.
Oh.
Right at the top. And I guess I don't know why. Did they announced a pushback probably, right?
Yes.
Who cares?
It is now May 26th of 2026.
I hope they release it. I hope they set to release it April 1st, 2027, and then they just play a joke forever. I hope it never. It would be better if the
People
game
reading
never
the
came
news
out,
were
because
like,
it exists it only exists in our minds now as the greatest game ever, and it will surely fall underneath expectations. How much new shit can they do, really?
Do you wonder if they're at a place where, like, wouldn't that suck to be at a place where something keeps getting so hyped up? I actually think there's a few projects like this that are, as like time goes on, it's getting even more hyped, and then you're trying to meet those expectations, but then the further you delay it, the more hyped it gets. Like Winds of Winter, the latest Game of Thrones book has got to be like that. In fact, I think George R. R. Martin came out and said, like, it's the curse of his life.
Yeah,
because he's
still alive. He's for a minute I thought he might have died.
No, he's kicking, but people are questioning whether, because of how long it's taken him to do this one, if he's ever going to get to whatever his last one's called. Now it's eluding me.
Oh, he has another one to do after that.
That's what I'm saying. Are you listening to me?
I am. I thought the way you made it sound was as though Winds of Winter was the final.
No, he's got to finish that, and then that's what I'm saying. It's like people are like, well, if he can even manage to finish this one, is he going to have enough gas in the tank to get through the last?
I hope that his last one, he just really phones it in. And well, I've not read any of the books, so I don't know.
Yeah, but you've watched the show, and that's basically the same thing.
Yeah. No,
I've read the book. I basically read the books.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I've watched the show.
Aaron, you're gonna stop, dude. So many people are upset. People who've read the books, who put the time and effort in, to hear you say that is such an insult to the time they spent.
I know about Bran. Jon Snow, yeah, he's at the wall. I get it. I read the books.
I hope it's the last book is a whole lot of and then statements. And then they did this, and then they did that, and then for 900 pages, it's and then.
I think that'd be a pretty terrible place to be at as an artist, where your like work becomes,
where you've made millions and millions of dollars off your IP and you don't actually have to really do anything, but you're torturing yourself for no reason other than to satisfy a group of adults with arrested development who can't get out of the fantasy world that they've plunged themselves into and can't tear themselves away from.
You're not wrong. In some ways.
So
there was a recent thing that happened in Andor that had fans in a rage, and I just remember thinking like
fans in a rage. Well,
I remember thinking it was like you're at a point where you love this IP, this franchise so much, you know, you've devoted so much of your life to it, but then it's like you feel like ownership of it. Where like these people who are complaining and they're in like they fly into a rage about this stuff. They're like,
actually, Aaron, hold on. Let's take a step back.
Yeah, please.
Are people flying into a rage, or do we think they're flying into a rage because the editor made that the headline to stir up to just make we're in a rage? But maybe people are just like, oh, that sucks.
Maybe we're all getting controlled by a bunch of trolls who, you know,
controlled.
Yeah. They're controls because they like to rage bait.
So we shouldn't even give it any
Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls.
Don't feed them. Look, I have another trending topic we can discuss.
Please hit me.
Ruth Buzz from Laugh-In died at 88.
Oh man, Ruth. I'm not familiar with Ruth,
Me
but
neither.
I am familiar with Laugh-In.
Me neither. But that was a thing, and
Seminal
it's not funny.
Show
I'm not
that
laughing.
Paved the way for SNL.
It's very true.
You could say.
There was something about Six Flags. Hold on, let me just Google Six Flags and see what comes up. Six Flags theme park closing after more than 2 decades, announces final day for rides.
No.
Six Flags America in Bowie, Maryland. Wait, is this all of them or just the one? I only bring it up because, hey, for folks at home, Aaron and I grew up next to a Six Flags. In fact, if I climbed the tallest tree in my front yard, I could see the top of the Superman ride just peeking over.
Oh, that's right. I kind of forgot about that.
And so we went to Six Flags a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, and what was your favorite memory of Six Flags?
My favorite memory is I went with Brett Bungie. Shout out to Bungie. And he said there was a ride there, arguably my favorite, but then it quickly became my least favorite because of what we did. He's like, let's go ride the Batman as many times in a row as we can. And this day that we went, there was nobody there. Like, you would get off the ride and we run back and could instantly get on another ride. And so I was like, yeah, let's do that. And around 10 rides in. Now, keep in mind, this is like a steel modern roller coaster that's pretty smooth. Like, very smooth comparatively.
It was a really nice ride. I remember it.
But 10 rides in, constant. And I'm like looking at Brett and I'm like, dude, I think I'm done. He's like, we got to go for 20. And I'm like, Brett, I think 15, I'm going to have some head trauma. So I don't remember what we made it to. He'll probably text me after.
It's like when your dad forces you to smoke the whole pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, now you're going to learn. Oh, you want to smoke? Come on. You want to take dad smokes? Yeah, I think we made it to maybe 16 or 17, and that was awful.
I'm sure
not worth it.
I'm sure there's a Guinness World Record that you didn't break. Actually, I'm curious what there must be one.
The Batman was, so, they had all the DC rights. So we had the Superman, we had the Batman. Was there any other themed roller coasters at that Six Flags? Do we have any other superhero? Because then they also brought in the X-Flight. You remember the X-Flight?
Was that a Marvel thing?
No, I don't think it was attached at all. It was just its own thing. Its own IP, dude.
You were splayed out like how they...
Yeah, it was like one of the first that you get strapped in and then the coaster turns upside down and you're literally flying. And that one was pretty... I did enjoy the X-Flight.
AKA the crucifixion of St. Andrew, because he got crucified in the next.
Yeah.
I can't help but bringing religious themes into anything.
But they had the old... Do you remember Raging Wolf Bob?
That one sucked.
The Raging Wolf Bob was one of the original wooden coasters at that Six Flags, which was previously Geauga Lake. And
I got CTE rickety, from that thing, man.
It was awful.
I got on it and then I got off, and I said, "Well, never again. I'm never riding that one again." Because I was just bracing, trying not to.
You kind of wonder how it's even legal. Like when you go on something like that, you're like, how? Like somebody's got to snap their neck, or
when they get on, when you get on, they give you the leather strap to bite on, and it's like, are these? And they were like, here's your strap, and they were reusing them.
And you would get on, and there would be pieces of teeth from previous riders.
So here you go, you're gonna want this.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
Bite down.
Yeah, no, that was no bueno. But now it's gone, and believe it or not, they have paved, developed. And you wouldn't even believe it because you haven't been back in a while, but rocketed apartment buildings and single-family homes in now what is called Renaissance Park in that same area.
Okay.
It's very weird to drive by, too.
Listen, I can't be mad at more homes for people. I can't be mad at housing. But just you want things to stay the same way forever, especially when it's an amusement park.
Isn't it weird? And isn't it weird that something could change so drastically? Like in the same space that a kid could be waiting in line for to go on a ride.
Overpriced cotton candy or whatever.
Is now going to be maybe some dude taking a dump in his home.
If you could overlap.
You could overlap exactly where those two places intersected.
Imagine you are taking a dump and then you just the haunting
faint
laughter
cry
echoes in, and you turn and there's a little boy with an ice cream cone. Yeah, you hear the roller coaster. Mm-hmm. Did anyone ever die at that park?
No, but I think I heard rumors of somebody throwing a PS2 off the top of the villain and that hit somebody. But it might have been just a rumor when we were kids. I
never heard that one.
Because, that's the thing to do when you're a kid. You sneak a whole PlayStation onto a ride so you could
chuck it.
We would bring, the most I ever did was I would take a penny onto
the Superman.
You'd do the trick where you would let it fall with you.
Yeah. Superman was best.
The Superman, for those listening who don't know, was one of those U-shaped. I think they probably have that design at countless amusement parks now. But it's like it would rocket you up the one side and then it would come back the other.
In other parks, it is branded as a U-Haul ride.
Mm-hmm. That would be good branding.
Yeah, and it's like you strapped into a little truck.
Mm-hmm.
Shaped cars, or or you could. Because the one side it would twist up, and I was thinking
it was a twisty.
Thinking of maybe a DNA double helix sort of. You could do a science themed one.
Mm-hmm. Were you ever any good at any of the amusement park games?
No.
Do you remember the one where you would crawl up the ladder, but it was you would flip and fall onto the inflatable? Or what did they have that one pissed me off so bad. It was the metal coil, and you had to snake the circle around it all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
I could never get that one.
Did you ever do the polygraph test?
Oh, that was available.
Where they would ask you like really personal questions, and if you told the truth, you would win a stuffed Snoopy.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Wow. Did they take you to a back room for that?
You never. Yeah. It's just.
Oh, I thought you were joking, but now they did offer that.
I am. No, I am. I am joking. Now what? This is a real thing?
Oh no! I thought for some reason I was like, wait. Well, what am I thinking of?
Are you thinking of the machines you grab onto the things and it says if you're like a stud or not?
Oh, maybe.
That's.
Or no, they had like those dudes who would. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of not very related, but they had the dudes that would like guess your height or guess your weight.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Which nowadays that would not fly.
It is funny to think about that.
Those guys would be so canceled.
Yeah, but it's like a real great big fat person going up there getting their weight guessed.
True. I don't know.
She was a great big fat woman.
Maybe if they were like thinking like, he's never gonna get this, and I'm gonna get that stuffy bear.
No, it'd be cool. It'd be cool if the guy doing it was dressed as Buffalo Bill, like a Silence of the Lambs themed weight guessing game. Mm-hmm. Step inside the well, see if Buffalo Bill can guess how big and fat you are.
Here's a bunch of lotion for you to win.
Yeah, he can just guess like your suit size. He can guess like your inseam.
Creepy. All right, what else we got on trending?
You're gonna love this one, Aaron.
Please.
It's about it's space stuff. The ISS is being retired in 5 years.
Oh, really?
The International Space Station, as NASA moves to, and this is a topic that will probably be out of our depth, as NASA moves to privatize more space stuff. I don't think space should. Look, I know people love SpaceX and Elon Musk made the rocket that came back, and we don't gonna get into all of him. But I don't think space should be privatized.
Why?
Because, dude, I just let it be for the people. Why do we need a company to fucking parse it out and then space is space? Let space be a space that everyone
can get that on a shirt? Let space be space.
Let space be space. Let it be a public park. Space is essentially a big public park. And now companies are gonna, I don't know. See, I said out of our depth. I think
that was separate, and then you went to a whole new direction with it. But
no, that was what I was referring to. In the topic of some more space services being privatized, I don't actually know if it's good or bad. I don't understand the implications. Well,
I think most people would agree that we did amazing things with NASA, and like I'm sad to see the ISS go. I don't know how I wonder how they're going to retire it. Are they going to like safely crash into the ocean, or is it just going to come down piece by piece? Is that what they're going to do?
They're going to crash. There's some place called Point Nemo. I don't know. It's like, I think it's somewhere over Nebraska.
They're going to like let it.
I think they're going to crash it into it. I think it's going to crash it into a neighborhood in Nebraska because no one gives a shit.
Yeah, that's a good spot for it. Sir, there's people there.
Yeah, just somewhere in the Great Plains.
Just anywhere over there. Yeah, what a sad state of affairs for NASA.
You know what it also means? I know that tensions between the China and America, Russia are frayed, but this is an end of a cooperation, like an international effort. And now they're gonna make their own little space stations, and everyone's going to their own little corner, play their own little game, watch their own little show.
Will we have space station battles up there, you think? Like, is the new space station by an American private company going to have, like turrets on it?
Probably. Yeah, it will. It'll have turrets.
That's going to be tricky to have a defense on a floating space station because, like, it's quickly throw you out of orbit.
Yeah.
The moment you fire anything, it's just going to totally...
That's why you use lasers.
Yeah.
Heat. Intense heat. You could scramble their instruments.
Our instruments have been scrambled.
We're
damn you, SpaceX. You ever think about how much time Elon Musk spends just tweeting, and then you're reminded that he like runs like 4 different companies, and then people are always like, "Oh, there's not many people who could do this," and you're like, "Really?" Because it just seems like he just is on social media all day.
I think it just proves that he's not really running anything.
Yeah,
He had at one point inserted himself at an upper level of these companies, bought them. And it's like he's running. He's not, right? There's no way. There's no way you can efficiently run.
as somebody like, okay, take for us for instance, we know from just doing FND, like the podcast, because I think that people don't have a peek behind the curtain, don't understand like how time consuming it is.
But a podcast isn't like.
I'm not saying he's got a podcast. I'm saying from a social media aspect of just posting.
Oh, yeah,
just
right.
Being on there, posting, reading comments, reading replies, interacting, like it's a time suck. And you have to think, I mean, now he freaking owns it, but that multiplied by 1,000, I just don't see how you have any time to do anything else. But it kind of shows, in my opinion.
Well, it's a quantity over quality thing in his case. He's a master of none. He just he's everywhere. He's a cult of personality, essentially. He's just built up a cult of personality around himself. And it's backfiring because he backed out of Doge, right? Because didn't he say he backed out of Doge because I need to give more time to my companies?
Probably, but it's probably because Tesla was tanking, and then he was like, "Oh,
yeah." And he's also playing video games.
I like that he came in. I like he came in, like deleted a bunch of people's jobs, and then was like, "Later, I did my thing. Gotta go back to my companies because they're not doing so hot."
Have you kept up with what Doge is actually cut?
All I've seen is
because I've not.
Well, in typical Elon fashion, he came in saying that he was gonna erase the deficit by like $2 trillion. Mm-hmm. He was gonna like cut $2 trillion out of government spending, and then debatably he's at 150 billion, so like a fraction of that, and even that number that I think they've touted is still being debated whether it's like a true amount of savings. So yeah, he fell pretty far short of his goal.
And I was just gonna say something else, and I completely forgot. I completely blanked. What the hell was I gonna say? Doesn't matter.
What's next? Do you have any other brain busters?
Aaron,
I got a couple things.
If you could go to space, hold on. I want to stick on the space one.
Okay.
Actually, no. I want to just go to something. Kohl's fires new CEO Ashley Buchanan for steering business to former romantic partner.
So hot. Hey, babe, you went in on this Kohl's biz?
What do you know about it? What do you know about
Ashley? I got some
Ashley?
Kohl's cash for you.
What do you know about Ashley Buchanan?
Nothing.
Give me your best guess.
I think she's the wife. Is she the wife of?
His name is Ashley.
Oh,
that was all I was looking for. Thank you.
You got me.
Yeah, his name is Ashley. Apparently
But the whole thing was that he was funneling money
apparently he was just, he's got I don't know if it's his girlfriend or whatever.
Mistress.
I think they're in a relationship. He said, "Hey, baby, I got the hookup."
Hey, baby.
And the board was like, for whatever reason.
I don't like that. No. I don't like that. You know what I did? Total absolute pivot, because I think trending, we might be running out. I went and got Charlotte's teeth cleaned / extracted.
Oh, poor baby.
I know.
So she had to go under then, huh?
Yeah.
I'm so
Dude, they
sorry.
took a look, and Charlotte has never she doesn't like her teeth being brushed. She doesn't like little kitty teeth. Do you brush Mel's teeth?
No, and I should.
Yeah, because they're
It's
probably
hard,
bad.
though.
Yeah, no, they don't get down with it.
No.
So, yeah, it's been a long time coming, and we took her in, and they were like, "These are bad." Like he said, "Yeah, we took a look, and it was a mess in there." I was like, "Oh gosh,
no.
she's saying it's a mess," but he did acknowledge, because she's been in the, she's a regular there at this vet we take her to, and he's just like, yeah, it's probably time to
Put her down.
get him get him cleaned, and he had to take some out. But I think she's like, this is only a few days on, and she's like much happier. It's like a new cat.
You've noticed a difference in her attitude.
Yeah, she's probably in pain, because cats don't, you can't tell with animals most of the time. Probably dogs more so, but cats.
Dude, that reminds me. I had a dream that Mel got out because she's been getting out, and there's coyotes in the area. And I had a dream that a coyote bit her mouth off, and she just was sitting there, and she was like a bloody mess, and like her mouth was missing, and she couldn't meow. And that makes me think maybe she is in pain right now, and I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a horrible dream.
It was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare. I woke up and I was like, where is she? And thank God her face was still intact.
Yeah.
But the vet recently did say to me, oh, she'd probably do for teeth cleaning. So maybe she hurts right now.
You're ready to cough up that hard-earned cash, dude.
Bro, if anyone out there needs an editor, God damn it.
Do it.
What?
Sell yourself.
If you're out there and you need an editor for your videos or your projects, this guy's looking. So yeah, I'm gonna need Mel to hang tight for like another month or two.
Mel, baby, I can't do the teeth.
Listen,
not
Daddy,
this month.
Daddy got
sacked.
Daddy's trying to get his money right. Wait till I get my money right.
Do you want to talk about? Is there any developments there, or do you want to talk about how is the job market awful right now, or is it annoying?
You know what's funny is a lot of the paid work I am getting, it's editing other podcasts.
Yeah, the one I sent you an opportunity the other day, and I was like, oh, this is a podcast.
Yeah,
that these dudes need an editor.
Whatever, it's fine. I can kind of shut my brain off and do it. And just edit more people talking. That's my life now, dude. It's just looking at people talking, cutting it down. Which is, I shouldn't even complain about that. That's actually nothing to complain about.
But you are.
No, I wasn't complaining. I was just, okay, yeah, I was complaining a little bit. And I caught it. But the important thing was I caught it, and I was immediately annoyed and bored with myself. So I'm not even going to complain.
Do you think at all about how in this last decade, the amount of time people have spent just listening to other people talk has just skyrocketed because of the popularity of podcasts? Like, on one hand, I wonder if it's good because the people creating the podcast, like, if we didn't have this, like, we wouldn't be talking as much as we are. I mean, we talk, but, like, not like a regular, like, hey, we're going to go on and chat for an hour. But for other people, like, you think of any time before the last decade that you've actually spent that much time, like, I'm going to sit down for an hour and listen to people talk about Google trending topics.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Never mind. It doesn't matter.
We're
talking about the job market.
The job market sucks.
No opportunities.
Oh, they're out there. I go on LinkedIn though, and I look at some of these jobs, and I yawn reading the description. My stomach kind of turns a little bit. I just think, God, I don't want to do any of this shit.
That's why there's a job opening.
Yeah.
You gotta think, if it was like a really lucrative, fun job, there wouldn't be openings for it.
Yeah, it's a lot of
most likely they'd.
It's a lot of in-house brand. If I'm trying to find a job utilizing my current skill set in a lucrative position, it's a lot of in-house brand stuff.
Yeah.
You know, hey, this multivitamin needs someone to run their social media. Do you have 20 years experience? What? No. No, I don't. Do you have 1,000 years experience? We need someone with 1,000 years experience. Someone who can edit, someone who has their own gear, someone who knows After Effects, Smoke, a whole Adobe suite. Yeah, some of them are. I'm being hyperbolic, but also kind of not.
Do you have 20 years experience? By the way, this is an entry-level position.
The salary is
peanuts. Literally.
The orange candy peanuts.
We give you candy peanuts.
Every 2 weeks, you get on your knees, and the boss is tossing in the air, and however many you catch in your mouth, you get to keep. Mm-hmm. Congratulations, you little piggy worm.
Mm-hmm. Now go back and edit some content.
So we can sell our so we could sell our suppository multivitamin.
Hey, and if there's
Called,
any candy peanut brands out there, we would have name dropped you if you would like to sponsor the show. So
What?
we know there's.
Yeah, no, there's opportunity. There's opportunities here for other people.
Yep.
If you had a vitamin company that was a suppository, what would you name it? Vitaring.
I was thinking Buttermans.
Simple, to the point.
You know.
Yeah,
Gotta catch 'em.
Buttermans.
Right.
Buttermans,
Right
hey,
to the
Butterman,
point.
shove them in.
Shove them.
Shove it in your Butterman.
Shove it in your Butterman.
Quickest way to get everything your body needs. Buttermans, shove them in. Doo-doo-doo. We need Cooper here for this.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm out of my depth.
Cooper, write a jingle for Buttermans, please.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. Okay, so we can start our own company, and then that company can sponsor the
podcast.
Oh,
Nice. Brilliant.
sweet. It's cyclical, and then anybody who buys a product, the money comes to us anyways.
Dude, quick, write that down.
Okay.
Buttermans. It's copywritten. Hey, we said it first. We
It's
said
like
it. No
the
one.
picture of the surge protector where the end is plugged into the. That's infinite power right there, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
What
talking
else?
about.
Quick.
Synergy.
Quick, we need another company. We need another company to start our own company to sponsor the pod.
Ooh, we're talking armpit blowers. Do you got stinky pits? Don't worry, we got a nice little blower. When you're out, just stick down into your pit area, give it a couple blows, and you're gonna spray that skunky smell right out.
Does it spray out any kind of? It should spray out some kind of powder, right?
For an extra, you can order. We have scented powders that you can dump into it, and it's gonna squirt just a little bit of scented powder. It's like
the
a baby powder.
Or like janitor sawdust. That would be
Or-
one of the scents, I think. Janitor sawdust.
Yeah, we're gonna
With
go
just-
with very unique scents.
Just a slight hint of vomit underneath, because of course that you couldn't get rid of that.
Yeah, right. Oh, do you remember? We're going on such a tangent. Do you remember like passing by like vomit in school and just seeing it covered?
I actually, yes. As soon as we were talking about it, I have a very vivid memory.
Yeah, I was
of-
gonna say me too.
In fact, you know what I think happened? What's crazy is, I think I threw up in class, and then a teacher came to get me. The principal came to get me and walked me by, and someone else had vomited.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was being.
Wait, did they vom because you did? Or
No, it just were two kids
just two
throwing
kids,
up that day.
You know,
There was something going around.
somebody's got the bug.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the janitor comes around with his little
like he's feeding the ducks.
soak it up.
I'll get to that later.
You soak it up because you don't want to try and clean that when it's soupy and wet.
No.
No.
We could start the company that provides the sawdust for janitors.
Oh, I bet that's a pretty niche market. They're probably, I mean, there can't be many in that space. We'll just scent that. We'll scent the sawdust because they're clearly not doing a good job.
Uh-huh.
You never walk by a vom pile that's covered in that stuff and you're like, this smells great. You're like, it just smells a little less pukey. So clearly there's some work to be done there. I think that could be a potential.
Saw musk. Scent dust. Wood. Smell.
We'll workshop it. We'll workshop it.
Smell goods. Okay. Cool. So we got those 2 or 3. We got Remember when we were trying to make a board game?
I've always wanted to make a board game.
I think it'd be fun.
You know why?
I still think our idea was pretty good. The one you're trying to escape the planet.
So, man, we must have been working on this like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah. Let's explain the idea to the viewers, and then hey,
And somebody who's listening will actually be like into making games, and they'll know how to. The idea was that you get trapped on this like basically prison planet.
Was it prison? Sorry, I'm gonna split hairs with you here.
Yep.
It was less a prison planet and more like imagine the Star Wars cantina, but an entire planet.
Oh yeah. I think you're right.
It was sort of an outpost.
Yeah, outpost
for surly types, renegades. You know, your sort of stock universe building alien characters.
Yeah,
you know,
bad boys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, planet of bad boy aliens, right. And your ship breaks down, and maybe you crash land, and the whole game is that you are trying to
just get off
get off the planet. But there's different avenues to doing it. If you want to take the shuttle, well, you're going to have to earn a certain amount of credits by doing X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. Or you could be like a thief. You can go, different avenues. But the problem is when you get down to the nitty gritty of making a game, and you're like, oh, I got this cool story. I got this. I have the inner workings of like what I think the world could be. But then,
what are the mechanics? That's the most important part. What are the game mechanics?
Are so important.
And how many game systems are there even? I feel like at a certain point we're just recycling a base set of mechanics.
No, there's people inventing new mechanics all the time.
No, they're not though. They're simply putting a twist on what is already there. And I don't know this for sure. It is just an intuitive thing. It's how there's like only 7 stories we're retelling over and over again. There's only 4 sets of core mechanics that are just being tweaked.
If I was ever going to invent a game, it'd probably be like Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards, which if nobody's played it, it's very fun but very simple game. The battle mechanics are very simple. It's like, hey, you start with a certain amount of health, and then you got your different attacks. You see how much damage you can do with your different spells. You basically have a hand full of spells, different glyphs on them. You can combine them any which way you want. Lay them down, attack other wizards, and last wizard standing wins. It's about as simple as it gets, and that was fun.
Yeah, this one, I think it would be a thing where... Would there be a board? Would there be... I feel like it's...
Who knows? I think board games, like if we were to do like a Monopoly style, or I tried to do... When we were in middle school, I tried to do a board game with Matt. And that was easier because it was like Monopoly style, or like even Candyland. It was like, oh, well, you just gotta, get to the end.
Yeah. Maybe you do go round and round. The board is cyclic. It sort of doesn't. There's no end, but there's little avenues you can take. It's an open world board game. Mm-hmm. It's an open. So yeah, we have to somehow, because people love an open world. So we have to somehow put that into a board game.
If anybody listening,
which essentially is just D&D,
could do this for us, and then just cut us in afterwards, or we'll sue you. It'll be super easy. Have you heard of Gloomhaven?
Yeah, I've heard of. Yeah, dude,
my buddy plays a lot of Gloomhaven.
I've perused the board game section at Target. I've seen a Gloomhaven.
Oh, well, you're an expert then.
I don't actually know what happens in Gloomhaven.
You don't even know. You're so far.
Literally Googling it right now, but I've seen it.
I figured.
Is a Euro-inspired tactical combat in a persistent world of shifting motives. Players will take on the roles of wandering adventurers. This sounds just like our game. This is bullshit, dude. It's all. See, this has all been taken already.
It's taken. Seats taken.
Can't sit here. How much? Wait, what?
Yeah, it's probably like $100. Probably more now.
From Noble Knight Games, $235. Get out of here! No.
Tariffs. No, I really don't know.
Who could be? Who do you think makes all those little PC parts?
Not Americans. Chinese. You think Americans are going to be making these little parts?
No. We could start our own.
Those are the jobs we got to get back, Vin.
Yeah, making board game pieces.
Make America great again.
Look,
honey, look at this house we bought. As my career as a little miniature board game piece maker. Look at what America's become.
That could be, dude. There's enough people that play stuff like that actually could become a lucrative. You could do that. I'm sure there are companies like that.
Not here because the cost of living is crazy. You know what you'd have to pay for that board game? That's the whole freaking point. Doesn't make sense to bring some jobs back.
Okay, check this out. Well, okay, the cost of living is high. Why? Just name a couple things.
What?
The cost of living is high, but why?
Cost of housing?
Why is housing so high?
I know where you're going with it.
Just follow.
Are you gonna say? Are we gonna go through all this and you're gonna say, what if everybody just lowers their prices
at the same exact time? We'll set a day lower your prices day, and like just because I think about
just
housing.
Be a test.
Well, I think about housing in LA. It's extremely expensive, and then you'll hear outside of a corporate landlord, like mom and pop landlords, like, well, it's because if you're in a rent controlled place, I believe that the taxes still go up. Like you're still subject to increasing taxes. So it's like the city is putting a burden on if you own property. So if the city just lowers their taxes, and that, so if
You're kind of breaking up there.
so I literally my brain couldn't work because I was out of my depth. I was actually my brain was suffocating.
Yeah.
It couldn't, the pressure of the concepts I was
Mine
trying
was
to
building. It was a ringing in my ears. It was just.
Yeah. So if everyone let's just lower everything at the same exact time.
Easy.
Everyone
Solved.
take a $5 bill, burn it. Get rid of. We have too much fiat currency floating around. That's part of it. Listen, a healthy economy is like blood, and what makes your body healthy is when the blood is circulating. So if the money's not circulating, if it's being hoarded at the top, and that's like having a plaque in your artery. When it's being hoarded at the top by billionaires, that's what makes the body sick. And then the limbs start falling off.
But some of that blood will trickle past the clot and down to you.
To the extremities.
Yeah.
So maybe you won't lose a toe.
It's a good analogy there.
Yeah. So board games. Maybe we should make a board game about owning property. We'll call it Monopoly.
Yeah.
All right. If you can make a board game about your stupid life. Remember Life?
I do.
That was a fun game.
Now that my kids are getting old enough for board games, I'm bringing back all the classics that I remember. Yeah. Do you remember Perfection?
Oh yeah.
Talk about an anxiety.
I know.
Ride.
Yeah. That game's a roller coaster.
Yeah, it is. Hi-Ho Cheerio.
I remember it, but I don't remember what the mechanics of the game are.
Very dumb game. I would not advise.
Okay. You remember Gooey Louie?
No.
I feel like I've talked about Gooey
Louie.
Louie. I feel like I've talked about that on this podcast before. Gooey Louie was it was a plastic head, and you pulled boogers out of his nose. But there was one booger attached to a mechanism that would shoot his brain out of the top of his head.
Give those game makers a raise.
Which is pretty awesome. Yeah, I love playing Gooey Louie.
It's a good one. That's like Operation. Operation was like another kind of gave you anxiety.
Operation was kind of like the game where you have to hook the thing, put the thing through the electronic, you know what I'm talking? The carnival game.
Yep.
There was also, I just said one. What did I just say? Battleship.
Taught our kids to play Battleship as well. Battleship is like way slower and kind of more boring than I remember it. When we were playing as kids, maybe I never made it through a full game, but like watching my kids play, I was like, oh, this is a snore. There's not really any strategy to it.
You gotta put U571 on in the background.
Okay, that might.
You need atmosphere.
But dude, like when we were playing Stratego, do you remember the Stratego days?
Well, we'd put music on and play.
Yeah, dude, you played to the Inception soundtrack. That's where it was at.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, if you're not gussying up your game night with a backing track, you're doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
You need atmosphere. You need supplemental things.
Plus it up. Find yourself that atmosphere that is fitting.
Yeah, get lost.
Wartime.
Lose yourself in the music, the moment. You own it. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity, Aaron, comes sometimes twice in a lifetime if you're lucky.
Oh, does it?
It can.
Oh, that's cool.
It certainly can. You got anything else?
I saw Warfare.
Who did that one? What's that one?
You really haven't? You're not aware of Warfare? It just came out in the theaters.
No.
Oh, dude.
Well, Will Poulter, Cosmo Jarvis. His name's
Alex Garland directed it.
Surveillance mission goes wrong for a platoon of American Navy SEALs in insurgent territory in Iraq. Okay. Was this based on a real mission?
Yeah.
What was the mission?
It was based on basically a retelling of events exactly how they unfolded. I think from the platoon themselves.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure it was exactly as it went down.
That's kind of messed up.
I'm sure nothing was manipulated to make Americans look like the good guys.
It's an interesting movie because it's like I left it feeling like, oh, that was like it was well made, but I also felt like, why was
we gotta
it made?
get those WMDs out of there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was like. Oh man, we did a job well done. Totally. I don't know. Very, very well done. What I kind of took away from it was, I mean, a lot of war movies make me feel like this, but I did leave this one feeling like, man, that would fucking suck. Like that, just being in some. I know how I get like when we play paintball. Mm-hmm. I could not fucking imagine running out somewhere out of cover, knowing that people have guns pointed at you. Like with real bullets, not fucking paintballs. Like, mm-hmm. I just, like in the movie you're watching, you're like, I don't know. Warfighters, like dudes that do that are the real deal. Because I really don't know. I like really try to place myself and I'm like, man, could I do that? Fuck.
If you wanted your college paid for, you would.
You go watch it and you just feel like you're so confident.
I'm not saying I could. I'm just saying.
You think that's the motivating factor when they're about to run into bullets? You think that's it? I got 20K. I got 20K in debt. I got to do this. Dumbass.
Yeah, well, bro, that's why a lot of people sign up.
Well, yeah, but like a lot of people sign up not expecting to go to war.
No, I know. No, I know when you're out there, you have a sense. It's a whole sense that I cannot even speak to. But there could have been one soldier who's like, yeah, like I got to get I need my gen eds covered.
I think so they're just like, oh, I got to protect myself and like my dudes so we don't die.
Yeah. Me and my friends, we all go back. We're taking biology, we're taking chemistry together.
Anyways, that we saw, and then I got to see Sinners. That's come. I would like to see it this coming week.
Everybody's raving about it. I still haven't seen it yet.
I gotta.
Dude,
have you seen the trailer for Weapons?
That looks really cool.
Have you seen Weapons? Weapons. Bring Her Back. Looks awesome. Another Mission Impossible coming out. I want to catch The Accountant 2. Shout out to Rob Morgan.
Dude, you could say it's the golden age of cinema.
You could.
The golden age of cinema.
Yeah, so lots of good stuff out there.
And no time to watch it. Because I got to edit all these podcasts. Dude, I have to edit these podcasts. I have to run. I'm running 3 companies over here. I got to tweet. I have to post.
You're too big. I don't even know how you do it. If anybody needs an editor, look at what this man's capable of.
Take a look at this.
This is like your portfolio right here. He's edited this. What are you going to do? Do something in this episode right here. Bam. Wow. Look what he just did.
That was sick. That's what you get. That's only someone with only 15 plus years of experience can do.
You might as well have 1,000.
It's kind of funny to think that we have, I on a resume, I would say, in the media world, I have 15 plus years experience. And I look at where I actually am at in my life, and it just doesn't stack up. It just is a little disappointing. And I've only myself to blame. Is how I look at it.
Just put 1,000 years because it'd be funny because people reading it would be like, huh.
Yeah.
That's good.
If I am applying for a job I know I'm not going to get or I don't really care about, I just, in the cover letter, I just say, please hire me. And I leave it at that.
That's it? Like there's no body to it? It's just,
no, it's just, I say, please hire me. So anyway.
I would crack up if I got that cover letter.
There was one job. It was for it was a dating service, but for highly motivated people. It was for people who were at the upper echelons of society, and you only want to get paired up with, you feel like people who are worthy of your presence and what you bring to the table.
Okay.
And it was like, look at our brand. What was the name of the? Oh, I'm trying to remember the name of the company.
This sounds like there's a film coming out by Celine Song called Materialists that I want to see, and I think it's that. It's like Dakota Johnson runs a business that's like matchmaking for like the upper echelon, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. They were like, "What is our brand? Take a look at our website and like tell us what you think our brand means." And I said something to the effect of, like time. Oh, this is not going to be as funny now that I'm actually trying to say it back. But it was incredibly cynical. Was my response.
Let me guess, you didn't hear back?
No, I did not. Something to the effect of like, time is money, and people are objects, and yeah, this is falling flat on its face as I'm venturing into it.
You got him though, dude. You got him. You showed them.
I'm sure the recruiter looked at that and thought, "What are we doing here?
Oh my god, we got to dissolve this company.
This cover letter just really makes me rethink the entire structure."
This guy just ripped us a new one.
But I think I bring a unique perspective to it. I think when you can stand a little outside yourself and look in, it's more valuable than being so caught up in your own little world.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
So I think it's almost been an hour. Maybe we should take a step outside of this podcast and call it.
Guys, this has been episode 60.
Wow, dude, only 40 more to go, and then we're eventually going to get that sponsor.
Is 60 over the hill, or is it 61? Do you celebrate on 60 because then you're like, well, it's all down when they say it's all downhill from here?
Are you talking about like people?
Like a birthday. Is 60 like when they have the sign out front of the yard? It says like, oh, over the hill.
I've never seen one of these signs.
Oh, you got to be shitting me.
Dude, what are you talking about? Never seen one of those signs.
Wait, are you even familiar with the saying over the hill?
Yeah, you reached a certain age in life. Well, I thought it would have been 65 because that's when you retire. Quote unquote.
Oh, people actually are saying it's closer to 40 or 50, so I was a little off. But yeah, dude, that's the whole thing. Like, look up over the hill sign. Like, you put it in the yard. Happy birthday, over the hill. Like, whatever.
I've never seen one of these in somebody's front yard. We grew up in the same neighborhood.
Guys, just this is proof that you can grow up with somebody. You can basically live the same life in the same town, be friends with them your whole life, and you still live vastly different experiences.
Yeah, Aaron and I think the reason we've stayed friends as long as we have is because we laugh at similar things, but however at our core, we disagree often.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of disagreement on this pod. We didn't find much to nitpick over. But Aaron, I'll say it's one of those are some of the funnier moments.
Maybe we should make the next episode more contentious.
Hey man, I'm always for that.
Look, I want to squeeze this show for all. I think we gotta really dissect FND Pod, so we can really figure out like, hey, this is what the viewers want. This is what we need to deliver.
I feel like we're still finding our voice.
60 in,
whatever the fuck that means.
60 episodes in, still figuring it out.
Yeah, I actually do know what that means, but I think it's a little much for what we're doing.
Well, thanks everybody for 60 beautiful episodes. If you want to sponsor us, please mail a check to Vinny or I, and we'll just about say anything you want.
Hey, do we want to give an update on Grundy? I feel like.
Oh yeah, I don't remember when the last one was. I'm actually going to release a video. I'm going to film a whole.
Oh, good.
Meat Man update.
Good.
Release it for the public. But yeah, that's coming soon.
All right, cool.
The TLDW would be that Meat Man is on pause.
TLDR. You said TLDW.
Too long didn't watch.
Weed. Oh, watch. Sorry.
Are you
typically
done?
It's typically it's used in the context of reading something.
Yes, I know.
Sorry. I'm sorry. My bad.
It's okay. The TLDW is that Meat Man's on pause while the economy recovers or doesn't recover from absolute ridiculousness. So we'll see.
From Rob Dyrdek's ridiculousness.
We'll see. I'll post a longer. I don't even feel like melting my brain over it right now, but I'll post something about it soon.
Okay. Thanks for that illuminating and eye-opening update. But there'll be more. There'll be more.
Yeah, there'll be more. All right, you guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.